Today, we're going to be talking about 3 reasons why men over 40 do not need intense exercise to lose weight. So, I'm going to get started right away. I'm going to tell you some stories about some of my clients, and I hope that that gives you some hope on, well, hope that even if you can't exercise, you can still lose weight. Hi, Norm. Okay, so let me share my screen. All right, so 3 reasons men over 40 don't need exercise or intense exercise or any exercise actually really to lose belly fat. So this training is really for you if you feel too exhausted to do intense exercise, if you go to the gym regularly and the belly fat is still hanging on and won't budge, if you're frustrated just thinking about hitting the gym, if you can't exercise due to injuries, health conditions, or just plain exhaustion, or if you're like me and you're allergic to the gym. I actually really don't like the gym. And some of my clients who love going to the gym are always pushing me, like, you should join the gym, you should join the gym. And I just haven't been able to force myself yet. I really don't like the gym. So, what I want you to understand is that you can lose weight, you can lose belly fat, you can keep it off. Excuse me. Hopefully, I'm not also getting sick. You can keep it off without doing intense exercise. Okay. The main reason that people lose weight is because they dial in their nutrition. So here's the myth. For decades, men have been told that weight loss requires grinding it out at the gym. And today I'm going to show you why that's completely false. So, for those of you who are watching live or those of you who are watching in the replay, ask yourself this question. Like, how many times have you tried to start a workout routine only to quit because it felt impossible to sustain? I know I've done this a million times. I'm sure all of you have as well. Okay, so just a quick introduction about why you should listen to me. I'm the founder of a company called TR Nutrition, and I've also created a 16-week online coaching program called the Belly Fat Fix for men over 40. I'm a holistic nutritionist. I have been for over 10 years, and I am an expert in weight loss for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. I really help men take control of their health, lose weight, and keep it off by using a simple, holistic approach. Okay, my strategies work for everybody. If you can't exercise, if you don't want to exercise, if you never want to hit the gym, you can still lose weight, you can still take control of your health, and you can keep it off. Okay, and the reason why I work with men over 40 is this crazy guy. This is my best friend, David. When he was in his early 50s, I helped him lose his belly fat and take control of his health. And as you can see in this picture, he continues to try and gain more weight by drinking beer. That's a story for another day. But anyway, he's really the guy who inspired me to work with men over 40. We talked a lot about the fact that men need an approach that isn't only based on exercise and hitting the gym, that puts nutrition first at the forefront, so that guys know that not only that they can't exercise their way out of a bad diet, but that they don't need to kill themselves at the gym to lose weight and keep it off. So let's get into the 3 reasons why men over 40 don't need intense exercise to lose belly fat and keep it off. So the first one is that really without proper nutrition, exercise is not effective at bringing your body back into balance or initiating fat loss. Okay. And if you're a man over 40, weight loss is really 95% about what, how, and when you eat. So this is a good picture. One of my clients actually said this to me last night, and it rings true, right? This guy's got a bag of Doritos and he's walking on the treadmill. And the reality is that you can't just eat whatever you want and exercise and think that you're going to be able to lose weight and keep it off. This might have worked when you were a young man. This is not going to work if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's just not that easy anymore. You cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet. Okay. So the 4 things that are keeping your weight stuck are muscle mass or lack thereof, hormones, metabolism, and inflammation. And those are the 4 things that you really, really have to deal with before you're going to start seeing weight loss. And exercise alone cannot fix those four things. Okay, so what's the science, right? Those four things. You've got muscle mass, or maybe not enough muscle mass. You have hormonal balance, especially insulin, right? You need to keep your insulin levels low. You have this metabolism that's probably slowed down since you've been 40. You hit 40, your metabolism starts to slide. I know this. This happened to me as well. I'm 44. My metabolism slowed down. You can't get away with the stuff that you can get away with when you're young. Okay. And then you also have inflammation in your body, right? So trying to lose weight with exercise alone at age 40, 50, or 60 is basically like trying to push a stalled car uphill while the brakes are still on. It does not work. Okay. And what I really want to talk about in this training is that the solution for men over 40 is not just exercising. The solution really is to dial in your nutrition, start making strategic changes to your nutrition so that you can restore balance. And I know, Norm, you're watching right now, and I hope I'd like to talk a little bit about your situation. I know that you've shared many times, or you've shared in this group what's happened in terms of your health and what you've been struggling with. But for example, for Norm, he is not, he's not able to exercise that much, right? He has limited mobility. And basically, by changing how, what, and when he's eating, he's been able to lose weight. So it doesn't really depend on exercise. And exercise by itself is not going to fix your problem. It's great. Getting exercise is really important. Even if you have limited mobility, getting exercise is really helpful. It helps move your joints. It helps improve your insulin sensitivity. It will help you lose weight to a certain point. But if your nutrition is dialed in and you're not getting proper nutrition, it's really not going to help you as much as you want it to. Okay. And this is really also one of my other clients. Jason, was doing everything right. He was exercising and going to the gym every single day. He loves the gym. He's been going to the gym forever. But he was not able to lose weight. We started working together and he had 20 pounds or 10 kilos of belly fat that wouldn't budge. And this was somebody who had an active job and he was going to the gym every single day and actually was eating really, really clean. And the only way that that weight started to move was to really take a deep dive into what he was not eating, what things he needed to change, what nutrition he needed to fix, and then to give him a strategic plan on how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat in order for his belly fat to start, for him to start losing that belly fat. So in 5 months, he's been able to, get very close to his goal weight. He's still going to the gym every day, but this is he's a perfect example of why just working out is not going to fix the problem of your belly fat. Even if you're doing absolutely everything right, you're exercising all the time, if your nutrition is not on point, you're not going to get what you want when it comes to your results. Okay. So the second thing is that exercise really distracts you from focusing on your nutrition. And I say that because for you guys, you get stuck in this idea of, I have to exercise. Like I talk to people all the time and I'm like, what have you been doing to try to lose weight? They're like, well, I joined the gym. I've been going to the gym like 4 times a week or 5 times a week. And, they start a weight loss plan by hitting the gym hard. And then they get frustrated when the scale doesn't move. And then they get ready to quit. And this happened to one of my clients before Christmas. He is 40. He was going to the gym. He's like, that's it. I've got to lose the 70 pounds. He started going to the gym every single day. He was going to the gym for 2 hours a day. And, after 3 weeks, he hadn't lost a pound. And, then he started working with me and we addressed his nutrition. But the reality is that a lot of guys think they have to exercise hard to lose the weight. But the truth is that you really have to focus on food first if you want to get real results. And if you don't focus on nutrition and you don't focus on food first, it's going to be super hard to get results. Hi, Norm. Yeah, so Norm's just saying in the comments he's lost 10 pounds already. And, he's been doing that by really having a strategic approach to how he eats, and he's focusing on food first. And he's focusing on food first because he can't necessarily focus on exercise the way that men think they should focus on exercise, which is by hitting the gym. And so actually, Norm, your story is perfect because you can't, go to the gym and work out like a crazy man every day. You have no choice but to focus on your nutrition first and to put nutrition in the forefront. And I think that that's the mistake that so many men make, is that they get distracted by exercise, and they get distracted by this idea that they have to go, hit the weights to actually lose weight. And so, Norm is in my program, the Belly Fat Fix, and that's really what we focus on. The 4 pillars of my program are that we focus on food choices, and we focus on a strategic way to eat that doesn't take away anything. For example, Norm is still eating all kinds of things that he wants to eat. His wife loves to bake, so he still is having some cookies, and he's still, getting to go out to eat at a restaurant, and he's still getting to do all the things that he wants to do. Yeah, Norm's saying he had a stroke and he's paralyzed on his left side. So that really limits the amount of exercise that he can do. So he's really been making awesome food choices. And we've been really focusing on balancing his hormones and increasing his muscle mass and fixing his metabolism and decreasing the inflammation in his body so that he can lose weight without him having to go to the gym, which he can't do. So you have to really understand that it is possible to balance your body and lose weight without hitting the gym. You do not have to. Okay. And this is key, right? Number 3, not everyone can exercise, but everybody can get their body into fat burning mode through nutrition. So this is also true for many of my clients who start working with me and they're very heavy. And, maybe they have 100 kilos to lose or 200 pounds to lose, and it's a lot. And when we start working together, their first goals as far as exercise go might just be, I'm going to do 1,000 steps during, 1,000 steps in a day. And they're going to focus on their nutrition. And when you do that, you still get results. That I've got clients who have not gone to the gym once and who have lost 80 plus pounds. And of course, that's not normal for absolutely everybody. It depends how dedicated you are, but that is 100% possible. Okay. And the reality is, some men can exercise. Some men have injuries. I work with people who have knee injury, or maybe shoulder surgery, stroke and heart attack, like Norm was just mentioning, other health conditions. Like I just mentioned, you can be too heavy. You really, you're not able to do any kind of intense exercise, or maybe you're just too exhausted. And if you're too exhausted, some people say, oh, that's just an excuse, but maybe it isn't, right? Maybe if you deal with your nutrition first and you fix some of these problems like your hormones and the inflammation and your metabolism through food, then your energy will increase. You'll be able to have the energy and the motivation to get out and exercise. And I often tell my clients, that's not the place where you have to start. You don't have to start with exercise. You can start with food. Okay. So the good news is that no matter where you are, no matter what shape you're in or how much time you have, you can start losing fat just by eating strategically. You do not have to change everything in your life all at once. This is how people fail all the time. I see people fail by trying to change everything all at once. And saying you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week, saying you're going to cut out all processed food, saying that you're going to get up at 5 a.m. and do your exercise routine. It doesn't work. You need to make smaller changes that are going to last over time. And you need to understand that you can start losing fat just by eating strategically. I see this all the time with my clients. You do not need to have a crazy workout routine to be able to lose weight. Okay. And learning to eat the right food at the right time is really what signals your body to burn fat efficiently. Yeah, exercise is great, moving around is great, but the basic building block, the basic thing that you need to do to actually get your body into fat burning mode is done by eating the right foods at the right time. Okay. There's no better way. So that's it. I really think that the most important thing is to understand that it's nutrition that drives fat loss. Exercise is great, but it's not required. And every single person can get into fat burning mode with the right approach. So if today's training made sense to you and you're ready to stop wasting time with diets, and also with workout regimes that you can't maintain long term, then I really invite you to book a call with me. You don't need to want to work with me necessarily, but maybe you want a bit of a deeper understanding of why you're stuck in fat burning or fat storage mode, why maybe you're exercising and doing all the right things and not getting results. And I can help you understand that. I'm happy to do that. So I'm going to put all of this information as well in the post for this training. I know the training was short and sweet. My husband told me to stop boring you guys by making my training so long. So I have been trying to shorten them up, and I hope that it was to the point. Does anyone who's watching live have any questions at all? I just really want you to know that booking a call with me and just talking to me about what's going on in your life, what's going on with weight loss. Maybe you just want to talk to somebody and say, I'm really too tired to go to the gym. I'm too busy. I'm exhausted. I've got type 2 diabetes. I'm not in the right place to, go to the gym and start some crazy weight loss plan. And I can help you understand how nutrition can really be the best way for you to get started. And I can also help give you hope. I think that no matter where you are, that you can start to lose weight. And it doesn't have to be dependent on exercise. And if, like I said, if you are exercising and it's not working, then you really need to get some expert advice and get some help on what nutrition you actually need to get results. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to go tend to my sick family now. And if you have any questions, please, even if it's just in the replay, put them in the comments or reach out to me privately. Happy to discuss anything with you or answer any questions that you have. Okay. So I hope everyone has a great day and a fantastic weekend.